Tav X, Hebrews, purity and becoming one. I hope all is well with everybody out there. Happy Sunday to all of the Hebrew Israelites out there worldwide. Not going to keep you too long on this one. We read the first part yesterday. Here we are again, learning about casting lots. Learning about casting lots. And what is this? Ancient Hebrew divination magic. Even though people are becoming mentally unglued as we're going into this. Hit the like button on your way in the door. Yesterday, we read the first part of chapter 4, casting lots. And today we're going to read the second part of it. It's not going to take too long. Also, I want to read this to you real quick before we start. I'm going to read this to you before we start. Hebrews, hit the like button on your way in the door. Casting lots. How many of you are familiar with casting lots? Do you know anything about it? Did you know that your forefathers was doing these kind of things and they tried to gloss over it and hide it? And now that we ain't glossing over nothing no more, we got a lot of Israelites out there who are becoming completely mentally unglued. Look at this. Now I got a question for everybody out there. For all of you spiritually, people who are stuck spiritually, you're not growing, you're not learning. Is casting lots evil? Is there anyone here who would like to answer that question? Go right down in the comment section. Is casting lots evil? Is it? I'm asking you. I already know the answer. But since we got a lot of hit dogs in Israel these days, and hit dogs are the ones who holler. Somebody throws a rock, the dog that got hit by the rock, that's the one that hollers. Just take a look around Israel. People making sneak diss videos out there like the cowards that they are. People coming on here, men and women. Yesterday, a lot of Hebrew Israelites got triggered yesterday by 2 live streams that I did. Because I was bringing out how people got a spirit on them when they don't agree 100% with everything you say. If you don't agree with everything their way 100%, they stop talking to you. They become who they truly are, comes out. And I made 2 lives yesterday, and clearly a lot of hit dogs in Israel, they hollering right now. Of course I don't care. You got no proof. But listen to this. And anybody out there who's not afraid and you're not a liar, answer this for me. Is Joshua wicked? When Joshua was casting lots, was that wicked? Look at this. Joshua chapter 18 and verse 10. And Joshua cast lots for them in Shiloh before Yahweh. And there Joshua divided the land unto the children of Israel according to their divisions. Guess what? You niggas will try to give all kind of excuses. Well, he casted lots to do this. He casted lots to do that. Nigga, we just read what he casted lots for, to divide the land. We know what he did it for. I'm asking anybody out there, leave your answer in the comment section. Is Joshua wicked for casting lots? Is casting lots wicked? And if it is, then why was Joshua casting lots? Now watch the Hebrews try to scramble, y'all. That's what niggas doing nowadays. Scrambling, running for their lives. Trying to figure out a way to rearrange things in a way that they can escape. Yes or no? Is Joshua allowed to cast lots? And if he is, does that mean that casting lots is righteous or wicked? Which one is it? casting lots. Is it wicked or not? Joshua 18:10. Do I have to read it again? Maybe I'll read it one more time just to clear out all the wicked spirits in here right now. We got a lot of wicked niggas in Israel, men and women. You know who you are with your wicked ass. You know exactly who you are. Joshua 18:10 again. Is this new age right here? Is this new age stuff right here? Or is this old? Can anybody answer this? Joshua 18:10. And Joshua cast lots for them in Shiloh. I thought casting lots was new age stuff. It's Israelites out there making videos about us saying that we are new age Israelites. Is Joshua new age? Joshua 18:10 again. And Joshua cast lots for them in Shiloh before Yahweh. And there Joshua divided the land unto the children of Israel according to their divisions, according to the lots that he used to cast. That's what decided who got what. He used casting lots. Again, is Joshua wicked? Is casting lots wicked? Now just watch the comment section and see the comments or lack thereof and pay attention to the understanding that Israelites have. If anybody's man enough or woman enough to come on here and answer the questions that I just asked, is Joshua wicked? For what I just read in Joshua 18, is he wicked? Is casting lots wicked? Now, as we just cleared out those evil spirits in here, we can read part 2. Casting lots, chapter 4. We're going to read part 2. Is this new age Israelite? Was Joshua a new age Israelite? Casting lots all the way back in the Old Testament. Was that new age in the Old Testament? Part 2. Casting lots, chapter 4. The Canaanite Hebrew pantheon. Listen good, Hebrews. Contrary to a long-held misconception, fostered by religious establishments for hundreds of years and frequently held even by secular people, the ancient Hebrews did not start out as strict monotheists in the sense of modern Christians, Muslims, and Jews. Some, mostly academic book titles, will be offered below as sample literature if you wish more detail. Well, we know most Israelites don't want more details about anything. They don't want to learn. They want to stay where they at. So go ahead and stay stuck. In addition to what one would call today the senior God forms or powers, the ancient Hebrews knew of many powers who had many forms and names. Modern secular scholarship, the Hebrew Bible, and also later rabbinical literature attests to this. What? Excuse me. These powers or God forms were and are known collectively as the Elohim. This is not a name like John or Jack, but a masculine plural noun, meaning gods. The juniors among them are also known in the Hebrew Bible as the B'nai Elohim. The children of senior gods like El or Asherah. El or Asherah, which implies that being younger, they stood lower in rank than the divine El or his wife Asherah, the ruling couple of the early Hebrew Canaanite pantheon. The name B'nai Elohim includes a variety of powers, because the term was indicative of a multiplicity of gods, referred to sometimes as the Council of El. It may well have been baffling for later monotheists or was deliberately obscured. So Benai Elohim has been translated in many ways, including in some English translations as angels, such as the archangels, who were elves, messengers, enforcers, and fighters. Do you see this? So don't run off the deep end. See, do you see this? Angels are gods, believe that or not. They're not human. They got supernatural power. They live in the invisible world. They are gods. They're not the most high God. Look, if there were not other gods, how could there be a most high God? Letting you know that the most high God is the highest of all the gods. Put your thinking cap on, Hebrew. Even in Psalms, it tells you he judges among the gods. Psalms even tells you ye are gods. But it's only one most high God. Don't get crazy over here, Hebrew. But the Benai Elohim were junior numinous beings early on, even personified planets and stars, such as the morning star, a junior, who carries a torch that lights the way for El's chariot at sunrise. Today, AMHA uses the term Elohim or Benai Elohim to also include nature spirits. Do you see this? Such as the spirits that are trees or that live in trees. And I don't know about y'all, but I know that there's spirits that live in trees. I made a live stream about it. A tree actually talked to me. I made a live stream about it. But its grammatical root is in the syllable El, which means divine or God. And any spirits of the land, such as those in or of rocks or rivers, and of course ancestors, whom we call Raphaim, who have metaphysical, protective, and healing powers. Most Hebrews don't know nothing about metaphysical stuff. You too afraid of it. Even though the Most High God created metaphysics. We hold the belief today that ancestors sometimes, if they have been gone long enough, that people do not recall their faces or names, can choose to revert to nature and become nature spirits or animal spirits. And we can use lots to contact them if needed. Most often, however, it is they who take the initiative and contact us during a lot casting or meditation. It is probable that the Benai Elohim were the powers that people most often ask for answers. In many ancient cultures, asking for answers from the senior powers, especially for common folk, would have been daunting and been reserved for very special, solemn occasions. Besides the various Benai Elohim mentioned above, the pantheon of the senior Hebrew/Canaanite gods includes El, the Father God. El, the Father God. This is the supreme deity. He was also known as Bull El among neighboring Western Semitic speaking peoples, because the bull was a symbol of power. So a number of chief deities of the region had that attribute. He also represented abundance. Having a bull in a herd obviously will increase the number of cattle in the herd. Therefore, riches as well as power. Known also in the past and to AMHA today as the good God, the Ancient of Days, meaning old one, a title of respect. Do y'all hear this? Don't get crazy. And the God full of mercy, Father El, is clearly not a smiting God, but one that could not be angered, as he is so understanding and good-natured. He was the personification of what was then the ideal patriarch. Thus, in the manner of idealized patriarchs, he was most benevolent, slow to anger, and rather a deus otius, that is, a God that is somewhat absent from human affairs. The name Elohim, used as a proper name in the Hebrew Bible, has a complicated history. The senior god's original title was El Elohim, that is, El, God of gods. This was later shortened by the Yahweh alone redactors to Elohim, probably a clumsy attempt to downplay or outright disguise the earlier polytheism. Asherah or Asherat, El's wife and co-ruler. Like several Western Semitic primary goddesses, she is referred to as the mother of all the gods. Very likely not intended literally, but as an honorific title. Her name in various spellings means mother goddess in many parts of the ancient Western Middle East. Her titles over time included mother of all the gods, star of the sea, and she who walks upon the waters. Some of her titles were inherited by Mother Mary, a phenomenon common in history. The grammatical root of Asherah's name means abundance, happiness, riches, fertility of domestic animals, wild animals, plants, and people. Asherah is often depicted holding out her breasts to nourish humanity, something that probably titillated the Victorians to no end. As a scholar friend of mine once told me, they thought it an erotic pose rather than an all-nurturing one. Lions, doves, and trees are especially sacred to her. She is, in fact, very strongly associated with trees, especially trees bearing fruits that have many seeds, signifying abundance, such as fig trees, pomegranate, and date palms. The Jewish festival of Tu B'Shavat, when trees in Israel and now elsewhere were and are still planted every year, may have been one of Asherah's holidays. Her most powerful tree symbol, though, is the tree known in Latin as Pistacia palestina, and subspecies of the terebinth oak, which is a massive, imposing tree, known also as the Elah tree, means goddess in Hebrew. The modern multi-branch menorah, recorded as being used in the Jerusalem temple and portrayed on Rome's Ark of Titus, which was sculpted to commemorate the destruction and looting of that temple, as a stylized representation of Asherah in the form of a sacred tree. Anat, the warrior maiden, not virgin, just unmarried. She's a youthful war goddess, sometimes referred to in the Ugaritic text as Baal's lover or twin. She represents some primal instincts such as battle, madness, the chaos and disorder of war, as well as primeval raw sexual urges. In the Canaanite myths, Anat got her brother Baal out of trouble a few times, wading into battle on his behalf for Baal's sake. She even threatened the great El once when she was angry. He, being the good God, did not get angry back. As I said, no smiting for El. Y'all see this? This is showing you guys the ancient thoughts of some of the Hebrews and some of the Canaanites. Why you think you can go into the Old Testament and see a lot of Canaanite ways are in the Old Testament, like blood sacrifice. Many people don't want to go and look back to the old days. There's a lot of things from Canaanites, y'all, that bled over, and the Egyptians that bled over to us, like blood sacrifice, animal sacrifice. Listen to this. Baal, the young storm and war god. To dispel a very common misconception, Baal is not a proper name like John or Lane. It is instead a title and means Lord or Master. You see that? That's why all the times in the scriptures where it keeps on saying Lord, that is talking about Baal. That's Egyptian and Canaanite gods making their way into the Hebrew Bible. That's why in your modern day Hebrew Bible, it doesn't say Yahweh's name. It keeps saying Lord because Lord means Baal. Do y'all see this? Don't get crazy right now, y'all. This is showing you how closely related the ancient Hebrew and the Canaanites were. A lot of the practices got intermingled, y'all. I hope y'all can see this out there. Which God was referred to by this title varied by time period and location. Y'all see that? Talking about the title Lord. Different specifiers were used for gods with this title depending on which aspect of him was addressed, which also changed in each local culture. So in the Western Semitic world, there were a variety of Baals, aka lords, with a number of names: Baal of the storm, Baal of the north, or Baal of the hosts, the holy armies. A title used also for Yahweh in the Hebrew Bible and in Jewish prayers to this day. Do y'all see this? He was also known as the Thunderer, the Rider of the Clouds, and the leader of the heavenly host army who strides in front of the tribes when they go out to war. He, not El, is the original smiting god, young, strong, feisty, and often brash and impulsive. Do you see this? Canaanite culture, which has almost usurped Hebrew culture in the Hebrew Bible. That's why they scribbled out Yahweh's name and replaced it with Lord. Are y'all seeing this, family? Rameh, the womb of all. Her name comes from a Hebrew root word that means both womb and mercy. Whereas Asherah is the mother of the gods, Rameh is the mother of all life in nature. Though as other happens in antiquity, the god form attributes overlap depending on time period and geography. She is the mother of earth personified. Rameh is the sister of Asherah in the Canaanite cycle. Do y'all see this? This is where all of these other gods come from. The word Lord, even replacing Yahweh's name in the Old Testament, y'all. This is showing you the relation between ancient Hebrews and ancient Canaanite and how there was a lot of cross intermingling in as far as ideology goes. The words that they would use very closely related and often flipped to get you to come into idolatry, get you to worship Baal by saying Lord, 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 instead of putting the name of Yahweh in there. These people have manipulated the world's history, fam. Rameh is the sister of Asherah in the Canaanite cycle, also known as the Baal cycle. Do y'all see this, fam? A series of religious tales that were found in the 1920s in Ugarit, Western Syria. Scholars say that at the time of their writing, Rameh was already a god form so ancient that she was still both Mother Earth and Goddess of Earth, aspects that later separated. Yah. There is reason to believe that originally Baal and Yah were actually the same god form with different appellations among different kinship groups in different geographical locations. Indeed, Yahweh has some of these very same attributes and several of the same titles. Yah of the North, for example, Lord of the Hosts, which are heavenly armies, which makes sense for a war god. Eventually, Yahweh was conflated with Old Father El, which can be very confusing when people first hear of this. There's tons of confusion surrounding all of the biblical information, all of the ancient texts, and that is because the Old Testament has been infiltrated. That's why you can find a blood god in the Old Testament that's telling you to kill and murder innocent animals so that their blood can have you forgiven for sins. That's this Canaanite stuff, Egyptian stuff the gods of the other nations. We're reading about it right here. This may be hard for somebody to understand out there, but to the people who are meant to get this, you get it. As mentioned, AMHA is not a religion, but a type of earth-oriented spirituality. Not all AMHA today are necessarily devotees of one or another God form, though all of us, even the agnostics, are devotees of Mother Earth, Adama, or Rameh mentioned earlier. Even so, it is nevertheless a custom of our tradition that prior to doing ceremony, formal respects are paid to the powers El, Ashara, Yah, and Anak. And that's the end. That's part 2 of chapter 4, casting lots. Do you understand? I hope that somebody out there can understand. I understand how this can be confusing to people. I understand how it can be intimidating to people. I'm trying to get you to see, as the writers of this book also, the relationship between Hebrews and the Canaanites. We were living right there amongst them. The Hamites, the Egyptians. That's why whenever you go into all of our records, the Hebrew records, you're going to see Canaanite influence. You're going to see Egyptian influence. You're going to see influence from all the other nations. The people who believe in murdering innocent animals for the blood, brother. This is righteous. Snuffing out an innocent animal and doing a ritual so that you can be forgiven of your sins. That's Canaanite stuff. That's Egyptian stuff. But a lot of that stuff made its way right into the Hebrew Bible. And most people don't want to deal with that. Just like most people don't want to deal with Joshua 18 and 10. If casting lots is all wicked, is this wicked right here? Can you please tell me, is this wicked? Joshua 18 and 10. And Joshua cast lots for them in Shiloh before Yahweh. Was Joshua being wicked when he casted lots before Yahweh? And he did it to make a decision on who gets what part of the land, regardless of the reason why he did it. The point is, he did it. Is he wicked for doing it? Is he wicked for casting lots in Joshua 18 and 10? Am I wicked for trying to learn about casting lots and all that it entails? Why don't you want to learn about casting lots? Joshua did it. Why don't you want to know about that? To the people who do want to know about it, you're in the right place. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'm out.